Welcome back to Cigar Exploration USA. I have said this before, but today I have got a cigar and a whiskey pairing that could easily stand on their own, and I'm super excited about them, the most excited I've ever been. We're going to look at this Perdomo. This is a vintage cigar, aged 12 years. This is the Epicure 6x56, and it is the Connecticut. They make a sun-grown and a Maduro in this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing opened up right away. I'm not wasting any time today. I can't wait for this. So this is a 10-year aged tobaccos. The tobaccos are aged 10 years, and then they put it in a bourbon barrel for an additional 2 years. So I don't see how this thing could ever be bad. Let's take a look. Before I even put it to the nose, let's take a look at this gorgeous cigar band. Look at this. I mean, have you ever seen anything more beautiful than that? This is obviously a Nicaraguan stick. Special edition, matured in bourbon barrels. Hand selected by Nick Perdomo. Oh, baby. I'm getting cedar all over this thing. I expect that this is going to be super creamy, maybe even a little sweet, mild to medium. Oh, man, I just can't wait. All right, let's get it cut. Let's get it lit. And then we're going to take a look at the bourbon I have as well. So, all right, we're going to cut it with our regular straight Perfecto cutter. Okay, looks pretty good to me. I like how these cut. You notice I didn't cut very much, just a little bit. All right, cold draw. Wow. I'm getting very high quality, mild tobacco along with that cedar still. This aging is going to soften all the edges on this tobacco and just give it that much more depth. All right, we're going to toast it up. What's everybody up to today? How's everybody doing? I hope good. What are we drinking? What are we smoking? I went a little crazy with this pairing today. This is a $13 cigar. Getting up there in price a little bit for my taste, but I had to try this. And I started with the Connecticut, even though I'm learning as you go here. It doesn't really matter where you start, but I figured I'd start with the Connecticut and eventually get to the sun-grown and the Maduro. All right, here we go. Let's fire it up. Wow. I mean, my initial thought is just super creamy, sweetness. Great draw on this thing. Oh, wow. Cedar has gone away a little bit, but it's turned into more of a creamy, almost like a caramel flavor. Whoa, awesome. All right, I don't even want to put this stick down. I'm going to set it down here for a second so we can get on to the next star of the show. These may be equal stars today. I have never had a bottle of this before. This is the Eagle Rare, also from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. I have drank this before, paid way too much for a pour of it at a bar. It is pretty difficult to find where I'm at. So this is the only bottle I've ever purchased. We are going to get it opened up and in a glass. I paid too much for this. I did not pay MSRP for this. I paid 75 bucks for this bottle. I see it online anywhere from, 50 to 150. So I don't think I did too bad. I needed this bottle. I had somebody get it for me out of state, and I needed to try this bottle. So it's got this foil cap. I peeled the foil off of it, along with a plastic looking eagle there with some stars. Give a cork pull. Real cheap looking cap. I'm kind of surprised at that. Kind of a little surprised. You got the plastic cork, the synthetic cork. Let's get some in a glass. Love that sound. It's one of my favorite sounds in the world. Okay, so what are we in for here? Let's find out. Smells like honey and herbs. Caramel, vanilla. It's aged 10 years, so let's find out what's going on with that in just a minute. Let's get some air in there. All right, back to this stick. I'd say it's perfect, but it's got a little hot spot there. But it's gonna go away eventually and actually be perfect. The leaf on this, the Connecticut leaf, is so creamy. It's so nice. Wow. Right now, I would rate this as a mild cigar. I would also give this a must try, must buy. I just could not wait to get this thing fired up today. Very interesting. I think maybe that Eagle Rare is a little overrated. I've had underrated things on this channel too. That Chattanooga whiskey, that stuff was super underrated for 60 bucks a bottle. And that was MSRP at 60. This stuff, I've seen videos online where you can get it for 40, 45 bucks. Online, I see it for 50 to 150. So, I'm sure the MSRP on that's around 40, 45 bucks, but somebody like me where I live, I'm never going to get it for less than 50, and that was 75 bucks. Purchased at a liquor store in New York, obviously with a markup on it. So I really like how this thing's cut. I really like the cut that I got on it. It's very, very, just the very tip of it. It's so smooth and so mild in the best possible way. All right, let's try this Eagle Rare, aged 10 years. Having some throat problems today, like usual. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. I'm not going to read the back label. Pause the video if you want to read it. 90 proof. All right, here we go. I've had this before, but I've had it in different environments where I've had other stuff before it, other bourbons before it, and I was eating and drinking different stuff, and, it was poured in a glass that probably wasn't as clean as my glasses are. It's a big part of really tasting bourbon is putting it in the right glass, as well as it has to be super clean. no residue in that glass to really be able to tell. All right, here we go. Just so smooth. So smooth. The legs from that just hanging on. So smooth. I'm getting a little cherry, being that it's a Buffalo Trace product. Absolutely just caramels and honey. And like herbs, like it's hard to describe. Like mint, a little bit of mint, some citrus. Wow. Definitely different. Definitely different than a lot of stuff I've had before. This is giving that 10th anniversary champagne a run. I mean, I just cannot believe how smooth these two are. I just picked out the oldest cigar I had and the oldest bourbon whiskey I have and just paired them together. Thought, how could this be bad? And it is fantastic together. Perfect ash like usual. Wow. Whew. Special edition, matured in bourbon barrels. I just don't see how you could ever go wrong like that. Man, oh man. Wow, that is so good. So the cigar is worth 13 bucks. Is the bourbon the most expensive bottle I've ever bought? 75 bucks, is that worth it? I'm going to reserve judgment there. I'm going to wait. At this very moment in time, I would say no. I would say Eagle Rare is definitely worth 50 bucks a bottle. Maybe not 75. I needed it. I needed to have it. It's kind of like the Jim Beam Devil's Cut, where I knew I was getting sort of hosed and buying something that really wasn't what they say it is. This is a little different. I believe this is what they said it is. It's just I'm paying 50% more than what you should, basically, for it. I'd like that to really open up. When you drink out of a bottle like this, they say you get some air in there, the more you drink. So usually with my pointer finger here, when you get to about this point down on the bottle, the next time you drink, this is all my opinion, the next time you drink a drink out of that bottle will be the best, depending on the whiskey, will be the best drink out of it. When you get a couple inches of air in there, and then it starts to get not so good if you get too much air, and it starts to take away from it a little bit, I think. But it is real good. I'm just basing how good it is and the value for what I paid, you know, that's, you know how I do it on here. But this cigar, though, absolutely $13 cigar. If you just want pure luxury in your mouth, that's what you're getting here. I wish my throat wasn't bothering me, and I wish it wasn't so windy, but other than that, this is like a perfect afternoon. What's a perfect afternoon for you? What cigar and what drink would you put together? And what kind of weather? Do you like when it's hot? Do you like when it's cold? Do you want it to just be mild? What's, you know, preferably, what's your favorite combination ever? This is certainly one of mine. Certainly one of my favorite combinations ever. It's about 60 degrees here. It's not warm. It's not cold, but it's just cool enough to make my nose run a little bit, and my throat, it's doing whatever it's doing today. But wow, still one of the most enjoyable afternoons I'll ever have, probably. Wow. Like I said, this is, you know, this is the Connecticut, but they have a sun-grown and a Maduro as well in the age 12 years special edition. There's 5 sizes in each. This is the 6x56 Epicure. There is a really unique size in there. Look it up. I'm not gonna, it begins with an S. I'm not gonna try to say it without have pre-planned how to say the size, but it's an interesting looking size and an interesting name of the size as well. But each one has 5 sizes. Each one of them is aged 12 years. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but that aging just softens everything up a little bit. Doesn't make it weaker or less, you know, full-bodied. I'm sure that Maduro knock your socks off. Even the sun-grown may too. This thing is just so smooth and so mild in the best possible way. It has a caramel sweetness to it. I'm still getting a tiny bit of cedar when I do the retro. It's just, and think about what's going on here. You know, we're smoking Maduros on this channel from Perdomo that are $12 for the 20th anniversary. This is aged twice as long, you know, than a lot of the sticks, and you're talking $1, $2 more for this. The value of this premium cigar manufacturer maker is just great, like just great. For somebody like me who is budget conscious, who does not want to spend $30 on a cigar, this is it right here for me. These are my absolute favorite. Even having a little trouble with that lot 23 sun-grown, it's still smoked. I still smoked that whole cigar down to the nub. You know, it was phenomenal, even with the little bit of problem I had with that. I mean, I just cannot say enough good things about these guys. This thing's getting better. I mean, on the nose, as it sits here, it's getting better and better. I can't believe, I know it's only 90 proof, so this isn't a high proof bourbon. I cannot believe how smooth this is, though. It's because it's aged for 10 years. Been watching some bourbon videos. A lot of these guys are putting water in their bourbon, water in their whiskey. I mean, I guess maybe you get over 100 proof. Maybe I would stick a couple drops of water in, but it just feels like you're doing this a disservice. Like somebody decided to make this thing the proof it is. Putting water in it's going to proof it down. I just don't see doing that. It just coats your palate. It coats the back of your throat, and it just stays there. I swallowed that a few seconds ago. It is like it's still in my mouth, which is phenomenal. When whiskeys finish like that, it's super impressive. I wish they all finished that well. I am not going to be excited when this cigar is done. I'm going to get the other two and try them. I'm going to try and get that unique size too, just because of how neat it looks. It's shaped like the part you light is wider. It's shaped like this, and then it goes in. You know, it's just a really unique looking cigar. I wasn't sure if this was two labels, if this was where there was a break in the label right here, but it's not. It's just one giant, beautiful, gorgeous label. Cigar band. Just one cigar band instead of two. I thought this was a separate one and this was a separate one, but they're not. It's all one. I'm surprised this didn't have a foot cigar band on it like his Habanos do. If you put this in your humidor and forgot what it was, you know, it did say CON for Connecticut on the, what I call the sealer, the little wrapper that goes on the cellophane. But I mean, this could be a sun-grown, you know, or a Connecticut. Now, if you had them side by side, you would be able to tell. But just having one of them, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, is that the Connecticut or the sun-grown? I couldn't remember which one I purchased, but then it says, you know, CON on the label. But I mean, just this thing is just so nice, and the draw, just a fantastic draw out of that end. And look, I mean, I barely cut it, barely cut that off. That's all I cut off the head of that cigar, was this little tiny tip. And it's just drawing like $1 million. Boy, oh boy, another winner here. So now I got to reevaluate my scale for Perdomos. I got to smoke another one of those champagnes to see if it's as good as I remember. Maybe someday I'll do cigar comparisons. You know, put this and the champagne and maybe another one of his Connecticut offerings all up against each other. It's different when you're doing budget cigars and they're this big and they take 10 minutes to smoke. When you have an hour plus stick, it's like, I don't know if I really want to light 3 of them up at the same time. I'd say this is a 9+. out of 10. I mean, just literal perfection here. It's so good I want to inhale. Like it, I just want to chew on it. Like it's so creamy and mild. It's just like butterscotch and honey and caramel and like cream. Going to a Halloween party tonight, trying to decide what cigars to take. I'm just going to take a variety. I'll probably take some Robusto size, some smaller stuff. See if anybody wants to have a cigar with me tonight at the party. I should take that Eagle Rare with me. That's what I should do. Maybe I will. Things like that, you know, it'd be easy to just sort of hoard that for myself, but to share that with people who, you know, like whiskeys and bourbons, and maybe some people have never had it. Maybe I'll take that with. That's probably a nice thing to do. Well, it is time to remove the cigar band on this because I don't want to smoke it. I hate to even take it off of here. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous cigar band. No issues under the cigar band. Everything looks great. Like I said, this cigar has just about perfectly evened out. It's burning perfectly even. It's nice and tight. You know, when you push on it, boy, I'm pretty sure I could smoke one of these every day the rest of my life. Be perfectly happy. Just no spice either. I didn't mention that earlier. Just none. None on the tongue, none on the throat, none on the retro. Zero. Zero pepper. We're about halfway. I expect if that pepper was going to show up, it would have by now. This is the kind of cigar that I have a hard time slowing down with. I just want to smoke it as fast as I can because it's just so enjoyable. Gotta set it down so that I don't smoke it so fast. Oh, man. Problem with shooting videos the way I do, you know? I don't want to stop the video. I don't want to have edits in my videos. I like to go unscripted. I think about what I'm going to say before I make the video, but I don't write anything down. I don't have a script. I don't have anything in front of me telling me anything. I don't like to edit my videos. I just like to give them to you just like this, just me and whatever happens. So unfortunately, my nose is running a little bit. Sorry. I know it's not the most pleasant thing to watch or think about. Wow. Almost like a candied apple. Some cherry, just everything you could imagine that's good. Honey, butterscotch. Like I told you, it had little herbs in it. I said mint. I didn't. That's still there. I can't think of what else it has. It's not like thyme or, it's nothing like that. It's just like baking spices, maybe like a clove. I don't want to give this thing too much credit and talk it up too much. Just because it's the most expensive bottle I ever bought. Like I said, it's not a super high-end whiskey. It's just a sought-after whiskey. A lot of people have trouble getting it. I'm one of them, so I'm excited. So I am enjoying it. Talked about that. If you drank this every day, you probably wouldn't think it's the greatest. So take from that what you want, but I think it's pretty darn good. There's a little piece of ash in there. You can see it. It's a little black thing. I thought maybe it was a bug, but it's not. It's a piece of the cigar that blew in there. Great color. I don't think it matters, but it's got great legs. Legs are when the liquor, whether it's wine or a spirit, coat the glass and then run down it in lines. People refer to them as legs. I don't know if that's important, but I know what is important, and that's how it tastes. And how it feels in your mouth. Like I said, how it coats my palate and lasts and lasts and lasts. It hasn't gone away. When I take a sip, it just sticks around. It just stays there. Now I got a friend. Now I got somebody. What do you want? Get out of here. You're not going to get out of here, are you? With this 12-year age on my resume, I've had a lot of the Perdomos now. Not every type, I haven't had, like I said, the other 12 years, the Sun and the Maduro, but I'm getting there now. I'm getting through his lineup. And this is definitely one of the best ones. If not number one, it's number two. I started off hard. I went right to the first cigar I ever had. First Perdomo cigar I ever had was a Maduro. So I thought I was just a Maduro person when I just thought that was my wheelhouse. But like I told you in a couple other videos, these Connecticut's Don't sleep on them. They are a great first cigar of the day. Great cigars with coffee. One of the most recent videos I made was the Man of War Virtue first box of cigars I ever bought. Got that box at 10 for 50 bucks. I would love to get a box of Perdomos with that kind of a price point on it. You know, even at $10, if I could get these for 10 bucks a piece in a box, I would definitely do that. This is a, you know, $13 cigar, special occasion cigar, every once in a while. Like I said, it's not my daily smoker. The Quorums are still one of my favorite daily smokers at $2 a piece. But man, if I could get my hands on a box of these for that kind of a discount, I don't expect you'll ever get them for $5 a piece like those Man of Wars, but even if I could, 13 bucks for one, you get them for 10, box of 20 of them for $10 a piece. 200 bucks is a lot of money, but if you kept them humidified the way they need to be, I just don't think you'd get one bad one out of those 20. I just can't imagine they would all be just like this. At this point, I am literally trying to make this cigar last longer. I do not want to finish this thing. We are coming up on, 35 minutes with this thing, and it is just not long enough. I want this cigar to last an hour, at least. I know what you're thinking. As I say that, I'm putting it right back in my mouth, but I can't help it. When I can retro a cigar like that, oh, it's like the best. It is the best. When it doesn't burn my nose, my throat, love that. Love that. I'm just pulling at this cap a little bit. There's that part that I talk about that comes right off. It's still just so nice. Pretty sure I saw Nick Perdomo say that he's also a straight cut guy. Predominantly that's his favorite. I just think you get a nice even burn. You get a good draw, the best draw you're going to get. I know the deep V cut, I get it. The V cut goes real deep. If you spread it out, it's the same surface distance, but I just think the straight cut's the way to go. It's classic. I love watching cigar videos on YouTube. I love seeing people, there's cigars that just came out this year in 2024, and I've never seen them, and people have them, and then they smoke them, and I love watching stuff like that. And then next time I go to a big store, I'll be looking out for them. There was like a brulee cigar or something like that somebody was smoking, and a new cigar for this year. Price point was a little high on it. But I definitely am down to try different stuff. I just have kind of found my favorite here easily with these Perdomos. Just easy to get. They're almost always available. I noticed some of those champagnes are getting harder to find now. But, I mean, these things, you can always find Perdomo. The quality's there, and the price is pretty good. Price is right, so. Mm. Yep, it was an ash. It just disintegrated on my finger. I was pretty sure, but I'm not afraid. I'll drink a bug, you know, if it's in good whiskey. You know, whiskey kills germs. You don't have much to worry about. Man, oh man. I gotta get a little more of this. I just got to. I'm so surprised that this cork is the way it is. I guess when you have a product like this and people are going to buy it no matter what, you know, it doesn't matter what your cork looks like, but the Buffalo Trace cork, I made a video about Buffalo Trace bourbon the other day. You know, I paired it, obviously. I think I paired it with a Perdomo, but I mean, they had the same cork. Buffalo Trace has the same cork. They come from the same place, same distillery, so makes sense. Stuff, that bottle's something else. Just love the eagle. Eagle's swooping down to get something out of the water. It's an all-around nice bottle. Nice and tall. Asserting its place on your shelf. I drink everything I get. You know, I have stuff that I hang on to a little bit just to make sure it gets some air in it. Make sure it's going to be, you know, its full potential, essentially. But I don't have a whiskey collection. I have a whiskey selection. I drink everything that I get. This bottle will be gone probably in a month because I'll let it sit a little bit and then I'm gonna drink it. I don't buy whiskeys to keep them. I certainly wouldn't buy a whiskey and never open it either. That would just be crazy. Whew. I just got a little nuttiness out of this thing, like a little kind of cashew or something out of this. But I think sometimes I get that when I drink whiskey with it. If you notice, I'll take a sip of the whiskey, then I take a puff of the cigar, and they may be sort of playing off each other a little bit, because that was the first time I got any kind of nuttiness out of this. Still there, still getting it a little bit. I'm not complaining, by the way. It's a good note to get, in my opinion. Oh baby, this thing. Getting down to the last third here. Still no spice. I didn't know what to expect. I have never watched anyone smoke one of these. I've never, so I had no idea. I knew I would like it, and that's pretty much it. And I knew it was going to be on the milder side, being that it was the Connecticut. But all this is new, and that's what's so great about this, is my exploration is all new. Did see some people say that on some of these Perdomos, I think it was the champagne, I think it was the 10th anniversary, they said it gets bitter at the end. I don't detect any bitterness. They said hot and bitter. Some people have said hot and bitter when I talk to them, in the comments on YouTube. I don't get bitter. I mean, it does get, warmer in the last third. Obviously, it makes sense. The part that's burning is closer to the, where you're getting the smoke. It doesn't have as much time to sort of cool as it goes through the cigar. But I wouldn't say it's hot. It's just so good. I know if we were playing a drinking game, or if you were playing a drinking game watching my video, every time I said how good this was, you take a drink, you'd be drunk by now. But, I mean, I think the best way to explore and describe and review, whatever word you want to put in there, is to just give your opinion. And I think the most honest opinion you could give is if something's good or bad. I mean, this thing is just great. I had someone send me a comment from Poland the other day. I've reached a new country that I didn't know people were watching me in. I can't believe all the different places. And I mentioned this in my other video, but I just, in my mind, I know YouTube obviously is worldwide. I just didn't think people in other countries would watch these videos, but I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. Tell me where you're from. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I mentioned this before. I'm making content almost daily here, Doing what I enjoy to do. Exploring these cigars, pairing them with good whiskeys, coffee. Probably take a Rocky Patel later. Maybe a Monte Cristo. A Rania. Another good Robusto. Take some good stuff tonight. Kind of figure out what people are expecting from it, and then if they want to smoke a cigar with me, give them a cigar. This is a caramel bomb in a good way. candied candied apple, like an apple. I can't really, not really apple hard candy, like a real apple that has like caramel over it, like a caramel apple from a fair or a carnival. It's just great. I'd love to try that at 100 proof. I wonder what it comes out of the barrels at. It's more than 90, because all of them are 90. They make them 90. I wonder what they start out as. I don't know. I don't know what the best third was. Maybe the first third, just because it was all new. It was brand new, you know. The whole stick, just great though, all the way through. If you're still here watching me, I hope you're enjoying the cigar with me. I appreciate you being here, spending some time with me today. So one last drink. Smoke this thing down to where it's burning my fingers and my face, and unfortunately, my little escape from reality is going to end, as it always does, but there'll always be another one. Tomorrow's another day to explore another cigar. Oh, look at that. Just out of nowhere, got a little... Wow, look at that. Look how much wrapper's on the end of that thing. Wow. That one I had to tear off, but that's how much care goes into that cap on that. I mean, look at that. The fact that they took all that extra care to put that leaf like that. Amazing. All right, one more drink. Just one. Wow. It is getting better. Better and better. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a great day. You're doing something that you enjoy. Take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, I am looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.